Well, the nominating committee this year was one person, me. So it was a little frustrating to try to fill the spots. However, let me read to you. The slate is on page 26, and we will be voting on these people, but before we vote, I will also be asking for some nominations from the floor. So right now, the executive committee would be Pastor Larry, Kay Brandos for president. Right now, we have no vice president or secretary. Treasurer would be Leila Guidi, and financial secretary Sharon Sharp. Congregational life is full. Thank you, Jessica. With Jessica, Karina, and Catherine Bassinger. Evangelism and spiritual life, we have Winnie and openings for another 2 people. Property board, we have a great board here with Paul and Brent Frocham and Ryan Bassinger. Stewardship board is Rich Johnson, who needs some helpers. Worship board is open. We need to have several people, please, to work on that. Endowment committee, Bob Johnson, Gary Dixon, and Fred Noah. Convention delegates, we are still looking for a couple people to go to the Synod conference in the spring. Parish education, Melody and Rosalie, and one more person would be great to have there. The youth board has Rachel Frocham, Ann, and Barbara Norden. School board, Chris Davis and Nancy Brown, and we are in need of, yes, ma'am.
The school board in the Constitution is actually 5 positions, so there are 3 open positions rather than 1.
All right, we have 3 positions that we need to fill in school board.
Duly noted.
Latino ministry, we have nobody on. Auditing committee, Marilyn Lowe, and she needs some helpers to work with her. And we need a nominating committee for next year. So at this point, let's look at the executive committee. And is there anybody willing to work as vice president or secretary? Anybody willing to be, okay, make some nominations, and if they're not here, then I'm not sure what we'll do about that. Anybody want to talk in that microphone? Okay. Then we need to look at evangelism and spiritual life. We have a couple openings there. Is there somebody that's willing to work with Winnie on that? I am. I'm sorry, I'm not using the proper words. I would like to accept some nominations, yes. Worship board. Yes? John Brewer for worship. John, are you here? Oh, he's looking for 2 more people to come. All right, we're going to write his name in.
So we technically can't vote on anything until we have a quorum.
Yeah.
Even membership.
All right, but we're just working on the slate here.
Yeah.
Anybody else for worship? Okay. Any nominations, let's see, for parish education? Yes, Ms. Sharon. Oh, that's right. Yes. Please note that the financial secretary is not a part of the executive committee. Okay. Auditing. This is something that just happens once a year. It's not a lot of work. Anybody willing to work with Marilyn on that? Gary? Thank you. Gary Dixon?
I got a comment.
Yes, Bob?
If you're on the endowment committee, you cannot serve on another committee. I had to withdraw from the audit committee because of that. There's a restriction. endowment committee members cannot be on any other boards or committees.
Okay. I'm sorry, Gary.
Can we go back to worship, seeing that the nominated person's here?
Yes. Mr. Brewer? John? Turn around. Your name has been submitted to be on worship board. Would you be interested in serving?
I'll let you know tomorrow. I think I'm going to pass.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a little roll in the air.
All right. Marilyn?
I'd like to nominate Ruth Noah for the auditing.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. That would be okay. All right. Please put Ruth Noah down for auditing. Anybody else interested in any of these spots or know of somebody that you think would be good at it? Okay. Ellen had mentioned that the Reformation Committee is working on, one idea was to work on changing our leadership organization, because there's no need to have quite so many people here. And I was just going to read to you some of our thoughts. This cannot go into effect yet. Oh, yes.
I'd like to nominate
Desiree to work on parish ed. Desiree, are you interested in that? Okay, thank you. Okay, anyways, so we're looking, one idea that we had was to have a smaller council, more like an executive council, but it would just be a smaller group that would be made up of the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, a rep from the school board, and a rep from the property board. And then there would be, instead of boards, we would have some ministries that people would work under. There'd be an outreach ministry, children, youth, and family ministry, and then maybe there would be subcommittees under that. A facility ministry that would cover both physical property and technology. Finance ministry, which would be covering auditing and stewardship and missions. Faith development, which would include a women's ministry and a men's ministry, and a worship ministry that would cover music, altar guild, sound, etc. So that's something that we're looking at. Just to let you know, hopefully for next year, we'll be able to have some kind of a change. And if you have thoughts on that, please let the Trinity Reformation Committee know what your ideas are. Okay, so we don't have a quorum yet, so we can't make a vote yet. Is that right? Okay, sorry.
However, Shirley, I would like to nominate Craig for secretary on the executive committee.
Did you hear? Layla would like to nominate Craig to be secretary. Craig, would you be open to
I
that?
accept.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to leave this slate with you for now until we have a quorum here. Any questions?
We have a quorum now.
Oh, we do. Should we call for the question?
We have a quorum.
Great.
What's that number?
50. Call.
Who calls for this vote? Do I do this or do you guys? Craig does it. There's one more person that should have been listed under property board. Rocky Brandos had volunteered to be on that board. Is that correct? Okay, super. So we have a good, strong board there. Okay. Am I lead? You are doing the vote, right? You're finished with me? Larry? We have 50, so we can call for a vote. Is that my position? Okay. Yes?
Endowment Committee does have 4 members, so there is one open.
Oh, okay, so we have an opening for one more endowment committee person. Okay. If there are no further suggestions or nominations, I would like to recommend this slate to Craig to be voted on.
At this time, if we can take a vote for the selected nominees to the positions to be filled. Is there a motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Be heard if you abstain. Motion carries.